because he was having a little trouble with that.
Hello YouTube and welcome to Formula 1 2019. Here we are for EWRL's Brazilian Grand Prix. It's gonna be a fun one.
Emerson, or not Emerson, Malcolm's the one that's not here. Oh my.
Yep, as Larry has passed him in points.
Wait, oh.
Wait, is that why he didn't want me to get a podium last week?
I don't know if that's why.
Auto Rockin' 94.
What about him?
I was watching his every red flag series from.
You know who that is?
Yeah, that's Luis.
Yeah.
It's a dead giveaway whenever there's a red flag during the NASCAR season, and then you put in the chat at Luis red flag or something along those lines.
Oh, Emerson, are you planning on going to a race next year?
The final Texas race.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure if anyone else was planning on going to Pocono.
Probably not Pocono, but I might try to make the trip to Daytona.
So the track is open for business here. The Autodromo.
Rodriguez.
No, not Rodriguez.
Kidding.
Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. If my memory.
Yes, it is Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace.
Wow, what a memory. Here at Interlagos. So we await drivers to take to the track.
Random?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it all dry?
Yes. That's why I was wondering. I'm waiting for that rain race.
I think we'll get at least one, hopefully.
Watch it be fucking Monaco. Oh,
Jeff,
excuse
would
my
you
French.
just shut up? I don't care about the post. Just shut up.
Not yet.
Oh, man.
All about that toe here. What do you mean? Just the front stretch?
Oh no, fuck off. That's it. Get out of my head.
Just a little bit. But you gotta be really similar in the rest of the track for it to matter.
So Invader and Ben on out laps as Dak Prescott gets a Hail Mary attempt.
Way to completely
And it's
change
incomplete.
And this take off.
Markle on an out lap as well. We await Octane Larry and last weekend's winner, Foursquare, to take to the track.
No, I was just asking because me and my dad are planning to NASCAR race. I'm with you. We're not really sure, and I was like, double header.
I believe next year's Texas race is going to be Jimmy's, I believe, last real opportunity to win a race.
I was thinking maybe Dobie. If they actually get speed.
No, I'm just saying he's been leading a lot of laps there.
True.
And if he's going to get a last win, that's probably going to be his last opportunity.
Oh, the options we're looking at are the 500, the Martinsville night race in the beginning of the season, or in May on our birthdays, me and him, or Pocono or the Glen.
All very good
What if
ones.
Jeff Gordon would stay true to his word about running that night race at Martinsville?
Comes out in like
So,
66.
Zim, Ben, Markle, Foursquare on timed laps. Octane on an out lap. Larry still in the pit lane. Here comes Zim. Right now, the highest driver in points without a Grand Prix victory. He goes a 110.053. Ben now coming through turn 15 to the start finish line. He goes a 109.486. We await Markle now as Octane begins his first timed lap of this qualifying session. Markle through the final two corners. To the start finish line, Markle goes a 109.492. So by 1/1000th of a second, Ben holds provisional pole. Now Foursquare through the final few corners.
Oh my god, that is bright.
Here comes last week's Grand Prix winner. Foursquare goes third of 4 right now, a 109.650. Now we await Octane making his third Grand Prix start. Octane now coming up to 2 slower vehicles. One goes way into the grass to give him the line. And Octane to the start finish line, a little low on ERS. He will go 5th of 5, a 110.652. And now we have Larry Arsenault out onto the racing track. Ben has made it back into the pit lane. Again, 6/1000ths separate the two up at the top of the table, Ben and Markle. Definitely those two are the class of this season in terms of racing output. They have 6 of the 7 wins this season. We're gonna ride on board with Larry Arsenault for a flyer. Going a little wide through turn 1, already missing the apex is not gonna have him at a great start for his timed lap. Caution in sectors 1 and 2, that would most likely be Invader out of fuel. As Zim improved his lap time to a 109.708. Back on board with Larry through the final set of corners. To the start finish line comes Larry Arsenault. He will go 6 of 6 drivers, a 110.795. Now Ben out onto the racetrack once again to try to improve upon his provisional pole lap time. Let's see what Ben can do. Right now he leads all drivers, all active drivers among EWRL F1 victories, all actually active and inactive. Sporting that white and blue number 24. Foursquare also out on an out lap. So we're going to ride on board with Ben, as hopefully he will give us a better hot lap on board. There's the slow car of Zim out of fuel on the left side of the circuit there. Octane, Foursquare on an out lap as we watch the master at work. I mean, just how smooth Ben is behind the wheel of that number 24 is phenomenal. So here he comes to the final corners. Full speed to the start finish line. He will improve by another 2/1000ths of a second, a 109.484. Now puts him 8/1000ths of a second faster than Markle. Now Foursquare on his way to try to the start finish line to see where he does after a second time lap attempt. Does not improve, a 109.963 for Foursquare. Now Octane. Again, still very green to this side of EWRL's racing series, and has proved that the different racing disciplines doesn't really slow him down. He has been able to make a somewhat smooth transition, and he's still not done between NASCAR and F1. He does improve on his lap time to a 110.397. Octane's shown a lot of potential in his first two starts. We'll see what he does on his third. Zim back out there. He was just out of fuel a few moments ago. Let's right on board with Zim, as he right now is 2.2 tenths off the fastest lap. Larry making a second attempt. He's now on an out lap. Invader to the start finish line. Top of the charts, a 109.271. He was the pole sitter last week and now provisional pole sitter at the moment this week. We're right on board with Larry, see if he can redeem himself in terms of a hot lap. He does find the apex there through turn 1 that time around. Larry to the start finish line. He will go 5th of 5, a 110.201. Octane now trying to get out of last. He's on an out lap.
What's up? Black. Orange and black. Thank you.
It's a nice description of a Foursquare's car.
Top 4 is pretty close. I mean, everybody's close. Top is a second, then everybody.
Caution in sector 2 as Ben is trying to really preserve what he's got in that race car. Octane going wide on his way to turn 8. Having to keep the car under control. Ben now starts a time lap attempt as he looks to overtake Zim for the provisional pole position. Here comes Octane. Up the gears. Full song on his way to the start finish line. And into the pit lane he goes. Not sure why he aborted. Looked like he was tracking in the green. Now we catch up with Ben. And Ben to the start finish line. A 109.178. And guess what? That one was done with level 4 ERS. So very interesting approach to a qualifying lap that time round. Now Zim on an outlap. Marco on an outlap. They are looking for provisional pole. Larry is well on an outlap, just trying to stay out of last. With about a minute remaining here in qualifying, business is about to pick up. Octane on an outlap once again. I believe Ben is just gonna have to sit this one out as he'll let the rest of the session do the talking here. Markle gets to work.
That's fast.
Marco right now third on the chart, looking for provisional pole.
Oh no!
And around goes Larry Arsenal. Marco on his way to the start finish line, tracking in the green, looking for provisional pole. Markle, a 108.977, puts him top of the charts, and oh, big impact! Invader was on a flying lap, and he collides with Larry. Oh my! He was going
Best
for the
sector
pole,
qualifying too.
and Larry, who had crashed on his attempt at a flyer, comes and takes out another driver on a flying lap. I don't believe Octane will improve on his lap to the start finish line. He's already aborted. As Marco drives through the accident scene. Wow. And you hate to see it. Zim was again on a flyer, and Larry just, I guess, was still not in control of his race car yet. Came across the circuit. And Marco will take the pole for the Brazilian Grand Prix. I really don't know what to say. Marco does get the pole here. Ben gets second. Invader, not having the last attempt there, will still be clocked in at third. Foursquare fourth. Larry fifth, and Octane sixth. A anticlimactic finish to the qualifying session. Yeah, Larry was just sitting in the middle of the track, and Zim had nowhere to go. It was a heavy accident, knocking both Zim and Larry out of qualifying. Well, these drivers are about to do battle to shake off whatever happened in qualifying, and we got a nice long race in the works here. This one will do, I believe, in about the 36 lap range. That is what we will get. These drivers about to partake in a formation lap, and we are now less than 1 lap away from starting EWRL's 300th race. How about that? I want to thank V6 drivers for coming out tonight, and in the only way I would have imagined it, a great race in the near future for race number 300. So let's get our starting lineup underway. Marco will start on the pole in that number 41 alongside Ben. In that number 24, he will start second. Row 2, Invader crashing out late in qualifying in that number 13. He will start third. Alongside of him will be the orange and black number 79 of Foursquare. He will start fourth. Larry crashing out in qualifying towards the end in that number 40 will start fifth. And Octane in that green and red number 25 will start sixth. A lot of different skill ranges in this field, about to do battle for 36 laps. In 2014, when I first started this, did I not think 5 years later we'd make it to 300 races? And here we are. It has been a long, wild journey, and race number 300 is about to get underway. These drivers, they grid up. They're getting ready to go, and it's time to bring the action. We've got 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away they go. Marco off to an amazing start. Ben trying to stay there on the inside now. Ben now trying to take over the race lead. Marco with the preferred line in turn 2. He will clear Ben. Everybody follows Drew. Octane into the third position already, onto the podium for Octane. Foursquare now diving to the inside of Octane for third. A lot of jostling for position. Around goes Invader. Now Ben on the aggressive, looking to the outside of Markle. As they head into turn 8, Markle goes wide. Octane all over the gearbox of Ben. Fantastic seeing all these guys run nose to tail here. putting pressure upon one another. Now Octane under fire from Foursquare once again. Foursquare already looking to make a second attempt to overtake Octane in the first lap. Marco trying to open up the gap a little bit to Ben. Ben trying to hang right there. Now Foursquare looking to clear Octane. Marco sets the fastest lap of 1:16.829. Foursquare does get to third. Does kind of overshoot turn one a little bit. Octane right there in fourth, ready to get right back to it. Marco and Ben are trying to run away with this, but they have not broken free of DRS from one another or the cars behind them just yet. Foursquare trying desperately to stay within the 1 second range of Ben. And Octane trying to do the same for Foursquare. Now Ben closing the gap through the tight and technical sector of this circuit, and around goes Ben slightly, able to keep the car under control. Foursquare into second. Octane now looking for third from Ben. Marco gets a little bit of a cushion. I believe the aggression from Ben early, not really aggressive trying to overtake, just aggressive to try to stay with and keep some pace going. Started to cost him a little bit. Those right side tires may have gotten into grass or gotten into the marbles where he had lost grip. Marco sets the fastest lap of 1:12.278. Foursquare barely making the apex there for turn one. Now Octane under attack from Invader. I'm sorry, Invader under attack from Larry. Now Ben all over the gearbox of Foursquare, forcing Foursquare to get a little more aggressive with his throttle input on the exit of these corners. Applying the pressure is Ben. Marco now out to a 2.5 second lead over this battle for second. Octane now under attack from Invader, and Invader actually looking to try to do it around the outside, and Octane clears him through turn two. Invader loses a lot of momentum through the first sector of corners. Foursquare again under heavy attack from Ben, trying to keep him at bay, going really wide through turn four. Into turn 8 we go. Foursquare doing a lot of defensive driving right now. Through turn 11. Foursquare getting a little sideways on his way to braking for turn 13, and now this is going to give Ben an excellent opportunity to try to get around. The help with DRS. Here we go. Ben looking to the left side. Foursquare holding his own right there on the right side of the racetrack. Now Ben with a huge dive bomb into turn one. Can he complete it? He goes wide after clipping the apex. Now Foursquare falls through turn two. Now through turn three. They're side by side. Ben with the preferred line, but Foursquare around the outside trying to clear Ben. He will do so. Invader clear of Octane for the fourth position, and was having to do a little defensive maneuvers there. Down the short chute to turn four. Marco on his own, 3 seconds out in front of Foursquare, who now takes a shot from Ben, going sliding through turn 8. Ben around the outside through 9, and Foursquare. There might be a problem on that 79 car. I don't know, I guess Ben really got into the gearbox of Foursquare big time, and he does not look up to speed. But Foursquare at it once again. This is now going on 4 seconds behind Markle. So everybody kind of holding their own as we work lap number 6 of 36 here at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Ben now trying to close the 4-second gap right now between himself and Markle. Right now holding steady while gapping a little bit to Foursquare. And Zim also trying to close the gap on Foursquare. So Octane right now in the 5th position. Again, an amazing move he did on the opening first set of corners. He was able to get into the 3rd position. Octane into the grass. He's going to allow Larry to get right there. The battle for 5th rages on. Now Octane really gapping Larry as he did through the technical section. Larry with the use of DRS trying to close that gap once again. Octane working these technical corners, trying to gap Larry. Onto the front stretch we go. Larry has a huge chance now at the 5th position. With Slipstream and DRS. And ERS in his favor. Octane already just goes pulling to the left side to give himself the defensive line into turn 1. Larry into the grass. Loses a lot of momentum to Octane. An aggressive defensive move from Octane to try to keep Larry at bay. You can see Octane and Larry using their race cars to the limits back there in the 5th position. Again, Larry just trying to get the power down. He knows he has a great chance with Octane if he can get out of that corner better than he can. But Octane really nice on the exit of turn 13, giving him a nice advantage down the front stretch and into 1, and really what he needs to hold his position in 5th place. And if Larry can try to figure out turn 13 a little bit better, then we have a different story. We await Larry trying to make an attempt at 5th place Octane here. Can he get onto the gas better than he can? No, Octane gets on the gas better there. And 4 square into the pit lane. He fits a set of fresh, soft tires. So most likely, he will make another pit stop for a set of medium tires, and that will be his strategy. Larry finally into the 4th position from Octane. Octane fights back hard, back to the inside, side by side again for the 4th position. They're all over the place and not on the racetrack. Octane fighting hard, holding the middle of the racetrack. Larry trying to do his job around the outside. Octane a huge advantage as Larry goes really wide. All that work Larry did to get there to Octane.
My bad, Larry. I locked up a little.
No, you're good, you're good. I turned in anyway. I thought it was clear.
Markle into the pit lane. Ben in there as well. This is going to give the lead to Zim. Markle, Ben, they fit sets of hards. They will make it a one-stop strategy. Larry into the pit lane as well. And the fastest lap to Foursquare on this fresh set of softs. A 112.209 for Foursquare. We'll be racing Ben on the pit exit. Markle coming out right in front of Octane. Larry also fitted a set of hards. So now, when does Zim come into the pit lane? Right now. I believe the same will be said for Octane this time round. Markle retaking over the race lead, and Foursquare again with the fastest lap, a 111.414, and now really closing the gap on Ben right now. Invader, Octane, they fit sets of hards. So everybody has fitted a fresh set of hards besides Foursquare. And now Foursquare, huge advantage, looking to the inside of Ben for second. He'll clear Ben. Now Foursquare setting his sights on Markle. All the way to the left side of the circuit to not provide Ben with any slipstream. Foursquare slightly closing the gap on Markle, but not convincingly enough that he's going to be able to catch Markle and it be advantageous for Foursquare to make a second pit stop. However, there's still a lot of laps to go. 18 plus laps remaining in the Grand Prix. So Foursquare now bringing the gap within 2 seconds of Markle. Now 1.6 seconds and continuing to close. Again, he does have to make another pit stop. But what will be the age of those hard tires that everybody else fits when Foursquare pits for a set of mediums? Because he does have to fit a different compound of tire when he does pit. Now caution in sector 2, Vat Zim into the barrier. And with that, he slightly damaged the right front wing of that number 13. Again, Octane and Larry doing battle for the 5th position. And now Foursquare is bringing Ben closer to Markle. That is actually more of an influence than Foursquare himself. Foursquare, although running his own strategy and trying himself to win this Grand Prix, may also be helping himself by bringing Ben closer to Markle for them to battle it out, and Foursquare have less time to make up as they slow each other down battling for the position. I mean, this is 200 IQ stuff. And how long can the soft tires Foursquare has on right now do their job? The gap 1.3 seconds. And right now is what is connecting Markle and Ben right now. First and second on their strategy. Effectively, first and second. Right now Ben sat third as Foursquare does have to make a second pit stop. And now Foursquare within 1 second of Markle. Down to 7/10 of a second and continues to close the gap. Not only for himself but brings Ben with him. So now the top 3 are within 1.1 seconds of each other. Half a second between the top 2. Here comes Foursquare. Now he's in DRS range. Now he's got a shot at Markle. Now putting on the pressure. He won't get a chance to overtake Markle yet, but putting on the pressure on Markle. For the first time in about 15 laps, Markle's feeling the pressure of somebody on his gearbox. And Ben has kind of lost touch with Foursquare. Ben not able to really get into the battle as Foursquare did get to the inside of Markle briefly entering turn 4, but Markle able to clear him once again. Foursquare now all over the gearbox, being very courteous on braking zones. And now the question becomes, even if Foursquare pits, is Ben going to be able to, on his own, catch Markle and have a battle for the top spot with him? Right now the top 3, 1.4 seconds. The gap between the top 3. Foursquare again closing the gap on Markle. piling on the pressure, having to pit in the coming laps. And now looking to the inside, shooting to the inside goes Foursquare, trying to take over the race lead. Marco around the outside, trying to clear him. Foursquare, huge run up the inside, side by side, up the hill they go. Foursquare right on the gearbox of Marco. I'm not sure he didn't make contact with him right there. And now Ben, 0.8 of a second separates the top three. As this goes on, the battle for fifth also rages on. Larry shooting to the outside of Octane. Around the outside, he's trying to go. Octane with the preferred line there. Side by side for the fifth position as the battle continues up front. And hard into the barrier goes Octane, and he's out.
Oh.
Does this bring a safety car?
I didn't touch you there, did I, Octane?
Foursquare,
you didn't.
huge advantage, looking to the inside, trying to get the lead if there is a safety car. Foursquare, 2 of a race lead. Octane crash in the middle of the circuit. And now the top three all over each other. The top three, 0.4 of a second separates them. Marco on a heavy attack from Ben. And Octane's accident will not warrant a safety car or a virtual safety car. And you hate to see it. Octane was driving for his life out there, and Ben almost into the gearbox of Markle. And Foursquare continuing to do his job and lead here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. He does have to pit again, but even when he does pit, he will be sat third. And he now trying to wear out the hard tires that Markle and Ben have fitted right now. 9 laps old, those hard tires. And does Ben have anything for Markle? Foursquare kind of locking up. Markle sees that opportunistically. Markle trying to retake the top spot. Falls in behind Foursquare still. Up the hill they go. Zim into the pit lane. Larry goes by for the 4th position. Contact up front. Foursquare still holding steady. As Markle making heavy contact with the gearbox. No wing damage. Invader fits a set of soft tires. And Foursquare into the pit lane. Markle now retakes over the race lead. 3.2 seconds in front of Ben. Right on the gearbox, and now Ben through the grass. Foursquare fits a set of mediums. Now, Foursquare, where does he come out in relation to the top 2? Do they battle enough for Foursquare to get involved with 11 lap older tires and the slower compound? Foursquare comes out 19.7 seconds behind the top 2. It's a tall task, but doable with 12 laps remaining. Invader, I believe, is going for the fastest lap. And Ben looking for the race lead now. From the inside, he will clear Markle. 11 laps to go here at Interlagos. Now Markle on the aggressive to try to retake the race lead. Ben still hanging on to 0.3 of a second of a gap over Markle. And Zim with the fastest lap, a 1:11.225. Markle with the DRS, with the ERS, with the slipstream. Hutton looking for a cover, looking to the right side. To the race lead goes Markle now. Foursquare has not made an indent in the lead they have. So from that alone, this does not look viable for Foursquare. So this looks like it's going to be settled amongst these two if they don't crash out. For Ben diving to the inside and Markle going out wide, looking to clear Ben once again. Ben right there. Up the hill, looking to the inside goes Ben into turn 8. Very aggressive into turn 8. Markle the preferred line through 9. Ben trying to cross him over. Up the hill into turn 10 and now into 11. Ben being very methodical while being aggressive. Trying not to get his front wing damaged and put himself at jeopardy. Coming around to 9 laps remaining here. And now looking to the left side of Markle for the race lead. Ben clears Markle. Markle in the slipstream. Both of these drivers have to be perfect if they're going to outdo one another. The back wing open on the red number 41. Now closing the gap on Ben. I mean, they're not setting the fastest lap, but these are hot laps from these two. These two are going to drive each other insane. Trying to outdo one another. The best of the best going toe-to-toe on the hardest compound. The compound with the least amount of grip and 14 lap old tires. These two are doing battle. Now Marco's got to be really careful. He cannot fall out of about this range of Ben. Gotta use the ERS. The DRS to his advantage. The back wing is open. Slipstreaming, trying to close the gap once again. Looking to the right side. Ben able to block it. Now Marco's got to stay right there. 15 lap old tires. About 7 laps to go and a 3-second time penalty for Ben. So now Ben has to open a gap to Markle that is of 3 seconds in order to win this Grand Prix. Markle into the back end of Ben. The front wing still intact. Marco's got to be really smart here. He cannot lose any more time. Got to try to keep it at about this range. To stay in DRS range. Marco's run out of ERS.
Oh no!
And a caution in sector 2. There goes Larry. He just shy of the 90% mark also.
Man, that
Oh, an Invader almost hitting Larry. Also does not bring out a safety car. That's a very bad spot for Larry's car to be. As the leaders will come right by now. Woo-hoo! Almost in the racing line of Ben. And the two who were battling their hearts out for the 5th position, neither of them will be classified with the 5th position.
Oh, I hate that.
So Octane.
Oh shit, Larry, what happened?
I was
Oh.
I was
Go
coming
for it.
out of like, I don't know, maybe like turn 6 or something, and I
Turn
caught
10.
the grass. Okay, turn 10. I caught the grass on the inside, and the rear end kind of stepped out, so I swung it back real quick, and it just overcorrected into the barrier.
Oh.
So I was gonna ask Octane what had happened to you a few laps prior.
Well, so heading down.
I
into
think I
that
saw it though.
corner,
Yeah.
I was
you know,
paying
Dell's
attention lap after lap of your
the first time,
gap to me.
you know, being too wide with Larry through that corner, and I didn't know how much space to give him, and I just clipped the curve just right and just hooked a hard left.
Well, y'all did battle y'all's hearts out for the 5th position. It was fun to watch you two. Now we got a battle up front. Markle diving to the inside of Ben. 5 laps to go here at Interlagos. 18 lap old tires on the hardest compound. And these are the two bets going toe to toe. Here comes Markle. Another lunge to the left side.
Battle of the year so far.
This may just be. I mean, these two have the most wins on the
probably
season.
would've
They're
caught me,
tied for the most wins on the season.
I figured I had to give you no more than 2 seconds, so you probably would have got me with like 2 to go. Plus my car was just gone, like I couldn't drive it into the corner anymore, I couldn't get off, it was just so loose.
Now Ben on the aggressive. Can he get to the throttle quicker than Markle? He cannot, but he will have DRS. No, he did! He'll have the slipstream as well. Here we go. Now Ben shoots to the left side. And he goes to the race lead. 4 laps to go at Interlagos. 4 laps to go in EWRL's 300th race. And I wouldn't have asked for a better duo of drivers to go toe-to-toe for the race victory. Checking up on the rest of the grid, Foursquare running in the 3rd position, 17 seconds off this battle, just hoping these two would take each other out. Invader 53.5 seconds off the race lead. Pitted early to get the fastest lap and currently holds that. And I doubt these drivers on 19, 20 lap old hards will outdo that lap. Coming around to 3 laps to go. Now Markle, with the help of ERS, DRS, Slipstream, and Pure Will, trying to close the gap once again on Ben. Into turn 1, he's not going to dive bomb him, but he's going to be right down the gearbox. Here comes Markle. Huge slipstream diving to the inside once again on Ben. For the race lead, they make contact. Markle slides. And Ben now long clear. Markle's not going to play the game of keep that gap. He cannot lose any more time if he wants a chance to win this Grand Prix. Bearing Ben's 3-second time penalty. bearing that Markle does not also receive a 3-second time penalty in the next 2 laps, because these two are running all over the road. But for Markle to physically cross the line first, he has to stay in this range, and he does, with a good amount of ERS. DRS in the making. And slipstream. Now Markle, a huge lunge at Ben. Ben, a huge block. 2 laps remaining here at Interlagos. For the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. 2 laps to go, now less than that. Markle and Ben going toe-to-toe for the Grand Prix victory, the 56th EWRL F1 Grand Prix, the 300th EWRL race. Markle right now trying to increase his point lead at the top of the driver's table. Ben trying to reduce that. Markle looking for career win number 25 in EWRL. Ben looking for his 14th F1 win. Markle looking for his 8th. They're going to be going toe-to-toe here for the final lap. Here at Brazil, 1 lap to go at Interlagos. Who wants it more? Ben now opening the gap a little bit through turn 2. Markle's got the DRS and the slipstream. Just kind of hanging there. 22 lap old tires these drivers have. Ben goes wide through turn 4. Heading to turn 8. All over the road. Bearing any mistakes in these final corners. Here they come. You can just get on the gas here. For the 25th time in his career, he's going to cross the line second here, but he will pick up an EWRL victory with Ben's 3-second time penalty. Ben crosses the line first, but Markle will win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Picking up this 25th career EWRL race win in the 300th EWRL race. Foursquare crosses the line in third. And again, 5 years ago, I did not see this league going 300 races. And to a whole different racing discipline. Here comes Invader. Through the final corners, Invader will come home fourth. Alright, Ben cannot do the interview, but he did say it was a great race. And with that kind of a battle, who would not say that? So there's the podium celebration.
Over the field.
Good racing, guys. Good clean racing there.
I wish I would have been up there with you guys, but I decided to spin out.
And there's your results. Ben, the lone driver, taking a time penalty. Markle started on the pole. He won the race. Zim was able to get the fastest lap there, and since he did finish the race, he will get that extra point to his total.
Whoop, whoop.
Markle, Ben, Foursquare, your podium finishers. Ben will not join us for podium interviews, so we have Markle and Foursquare. So we're joined by third place finisher, Foursquare. The strategy you did, it was interesting, and I was starting to like it through the middle part of this race, but was there anything you could have done differently to improve your finishing position?
Oh no, probably not. Just trying to do something different. Figured those fast cars were going to be on a one-stop, and this track eats up those tires, so I decided to take that, extra stop. But those mediums didn't have the pace I had hoped, so just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, were you just hoping that your mediums would be able to run them down? And I don't know if you planned the next part or not, but having Markle and Ben battle it out and kind of slow each other down, was that kind of your thought?
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I wasn't too sure. I didn't think I was going to be able to catch up or catch Markle really at all. My main goal was just to hold Ben off, but then it just played out the way it played out, and even got around Markle there.
I tried to keep up.
So, you did lead a few laps there. It was fun to watch you there, and very interesting there in the middle part of the race. So you did cater to the fun we had in the 300th EWRL race. This is race 8 of 21. To your outlook on the season, you came into this race second in points. I don't believe you'll be leaving this race in the same position. I have to do the points, obviously, to figure that one out. Or actually, I think you might be by 3 points.
It's close.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's close.
Do you have anything in the next 13 Grand Prix?
I sure hope so. There's still a lot of the season left, so that's a lot of points. A lot of points left.
A lot of the season left, a lot of points left. Very optimistic outlook on the rest of the season from Foursquare. Congratulations on the podium finish, the third place finish for you.
Thank you.
And now we're joined by race winner Markle. How about that insane battle with Ben to the wire? Just kind of go through that.
It was fun. I didn't expect it at first because I was like, 4 seconds ahead of we and had this race again. But with Foursquare,
my next question was going to be, did you expect Foursquare to catch you? And did you expect Foursquare to catch you and bring Ben?
I mean, Foursquare is on a faster tire, so I was like, he might catch us. And then he just did a lot faster than I thought. And then at the end of that race, when I almost spun, battling with Ben, I was like, yeah, let's just stay behind him. And we'll win.
So you were content finishing behind him because you knew his 3-second time penalty?
As long as you stood with him.
Mm-hmm. Since Ben's not here to answer this for himself, do you think there was anything Ben could have done differently to win that, besides the 3-second time penalty and not getting it?
Be more careful in that first turn.
That first turn. I guess that's the whole reason. He would have won without the 3-second time penalty. But yeah, that was fun. Your 4th win on the season. How does it feel? Your 25th EWRL win. You're one off, you-know-who, from tying.
Great.
And you did that in EWRL's 300th race. How does all that feel, considering you were there in Season 1 of NASCAR?
Oh, that's right, I did. Forgot about that.
You've kind of, maybe, I don't remember if you were there for the Daytona race, but you've been here since the start. You've been here with me. How does it feel 300 races later? Maybe not attending all of them, but...
Probably not all of them, but... Because I missed a decent amount of the first, I think, 2 NASCAR seasons, so...
But
probably
heavily involved through it. I'm sure you're getting close to 200 races somewhere.
Probably. It was fun. Keep it going. Hopefully we do... I doubt we'll do GTA again, but, Malcolm would dominate that if we would do that.
It'd be something. If there's a new GTA in the making, somewhere out there in the Rockstar world, I would definitely be open to trying a season.
Yep. I think we're doing a NASCAR season. I'm not sure.
it's into the base, I'm down for a summer season, something like that. We'll see. I'm open to a lot of things. Just I don't have a lot of time.
That's all of us now.
Yeah, that's all of us. Everybody's getting lives. I mean, we met each other as, teenagers who did nothing but go to school. And, I mean, look at us. You got work, I got internships, and I had a bunch of after-school stuff, and you got college.
College and work.
And work.
Yep.
But, yeah, you've been here for a good majority of the races. You've been here through the ups and downs. There were 6-8 month hiatus. Just want to thank you for that, and you finally got your 25th career win. You are one off that you-know-who, and at the pace you're going, you are definitely going to catch and pass them in the near future.
Yep, hopefully. All right.
Well, congratulations to Marco on his 4th win of the season, his 25th career EWRL win, and I believe this is his 8th career F1 win. And thank you for tuning in to EWRL's 300th race. It took a lot of different racing disciplines to get here. 172 NASCAR races. 54 Grand Theft Auto 5 races. A total of 18 races on Project Cars. 12 in IndyCar. 6 in GT3. Not including 14 Rallycross events. And 56 F1 Grand Prix will make up a total of 314 events, but the Rallycross events will not count to the all-time wins list total, so 300 different EWRL events. We're not done.
Time has really flown.
Time has really flown. Again, I've known you for about that same time. Larry, if you have any comment on 300 races.
Yeah, when I first joined, I think I was early season 1. I can't remember if I was there for the 500. I didn't think 5 years later would be here. I certainly didn't think would be on F1.
Yeah,
I thought,
me neither.
would strictly be NASCAR, which at the time it was fun. We didn't have the Heat series. We kind of just dealt with our inside line, our 14s and our 15s.
Mm-hmm. We complained about those, and now we wish we went back.
I do still wish we went back to
It's
it.
a running theme with the NASCAR games.
But I don't think they
2009.
have
Yeah, because in the Technics games, we wanted to go back to EA. Now the Heat games, we want to go back to Technics. Oh, Heat 4 is good, but...
Yes,
Heat
4 is
yikes.
a great step in the right direction.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel
Yeah,
like
compared
you
to
need
their
build-
first 3
1,
games,
2, and
yes.
3, we want it back.
Money
Yeah,
back
I'd much rather go back to pre.
15?
Well, no, I was gonna say I'd rather go back to pre-patch NASCAR 2011 when it was virtually unplayable online than have to deal with NASCAR Heat Evolution 2 or 3.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
glad
crazy.
We stuck it out.
I'm glad we did too. There was a point, in this league's history, we had an 8-month hiatus. I thought it was going to be longer. I actually didn't think I was going to come back.
It didn't feel like it was 8 months either.
It didn't. We still had Dylan's league. We still had other leagues. It was 8 months. We came back and we started a NASCAR season on 15, and we did as much as we could, and then we hit up F1. And that's kind of the whole reason we're here.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you, F1.
Yes, thank you, Codemasters, for providing this.
A better game.
And just so many different racing disciplines, like I listed off there. I mean,
Codemasters, please make NASCAR one.
NASCAR F1, IndyCar, GT3 races, plus whatever
Bring back
other
IndyCar.
fucking cars we ran on GTA 5.
He wants IndyCar.
Well,
Probably
let's
cars
see.
too.
Yeah, Zim wants
I
any
think
car.
we ran the NASCAR truck. We ran
Let's go back to 15.
the Hot Ring Saber.
And then
We did the
that
rally
season
race.
where we changed cars
Oh.
every race.
We should go back to GTA 5 again. Do the truck.
We should go
Aww.
back on GTA 5
Well,
and do the main.
My
We
dog
could.
just took a piss right next to me, so I guess that's a signal of it's time to go.
Good time to end the stream now.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support through 300 races. Again, we're not done. We're at least going to hit 13 more before we're done with this season of F1. So tune in next week for
300 more races.
tune in next week for our Grand Prix at Abu Dhabi. That should be a fun one.